Hi, how is everyone? I know I'm having to use this other account, and I will just preface ahead of time that when I am no longer in Facebook jail, I'm going to keep this and repost it. I won't leave it on this account. I will also say that if you try to send a friend request to this account, it's just going to be declined. I don't use this account. I don't use it at all. The only reason I actually kept it was because it still had like pictures of my kids and stuff that I hadn't taken off, and now I've been using it because I'm in Facebook jail. So if you send a friend request to this account, I won't accept it because I don't use it. I'm not on it. So I'm just on it to do this video, and I will delete it and delete the live later when I'm not in Facebook jail anymore, and upload the video later. So tonight we are going to be talking about opportunity events and closing. We're going to wrap up our training on recruiting, and I will go ahead and announce ahead of time that we are going to be doing sales this week. So it's going to kind of overlap on our opportunity event. We're going to end this training by hosting an opportunity event this week. It will be on Thursday, and I'm super excited about that. So if you would like to help, if you would like to be a part of that, if you would like to share your story, if you would like to make some posts, if you would like to participate at all, it's going to be Tuesday through Thursday. Thursday night will be the wrap up. So I will have the event up and running probably tomorrow, and we will start, and I'll invite everybody, but we will start inviting people on Tuesday. Okay, so Tuesday we'll invite people. Oh, my hair is driving me crazy. Okay, we'll invite people on Tuesday, and it'll be Tuesday through Thursday. We'll post. Thursday we'll wrap it up and be done. Okay, cool. Everybody good? I'm excited about that because you can take everything that we've learned and really put that to action and see how you are doing with that. So any of you that are watching, let me know that you're here. Tell me hi. And then also hit that invite button, and please invite everyone since I can't, and let everybody know that I am on. And then I would also like to know, see, there's nobody on my list tonight. I would also like to know who is watching right now. Of those who are watching right now, who is going for no? Anybody going for no? Anybody who agreed to go for no? I'm interested to see if you plan to do that, because it's going to be interesting whenever we do this event to see how successful you are. It's going to be exciting. Okay, so I'm going to talk to you about maximizing. Hey Anita, I'm going to talk to you about maximizing the opportunity event. How do you make that work for you to your advantage? I'm not out of Facebook jail, Diane. I'm on a different account. So do not friend request this account, ladies. I don't use this account. I'm only using it because I am in Facebook jail. So I am still in Facebook jail, just on my normal account. This is like the side account that I never use unless I'm in Facebook jail. So now that we got that out of the way, I'm going to start working on getting this event set up and getting it going. And so if you do plan to attend, if you do plan to participate, if you do plan to help or want to help, let me know as I get that ready. And we're going to discuss maximizing your, I'm trying to fix this view. Hold on a minute, because I keep trying to sit up and I'm cutting my head off here. Okay, I want to sit back, but I also want to sit up because it's hurting my back. Okay, that's better. At least I'm a little bit more comfortable. We're going to talk about closing. I said that I would try to touch on that, and so I am going to bring you a few details on how to close the prospect. Are you excited about that? Do you want to hear about that? If you do, throw me up some hearts. I'm also going to talk to you about maximizing the event. So let me know that you watch this on the replay. If you're watching on the replay, comment replay below. Also, if one of you girls would so kindly hit that invite button and invite everyone to come watch, since I cannot. So when we get this event up and running, I've already given you step by step how to prospect, right? I mean, how many of y'all have learned something on any of these videos? This is video 5. Have you learned anything in the first 4 videos? Hey Kelly, I'd love to know if these videos are helpful for you. Are you enjoying the content? Are you learning anything from these videos? Are you taking that and putting it into action in your inbox and on your profile? And have you learned anything through this training? if you have, great, thank you, Kelly. Only one answer. There we go. Okay. If you have learned, then you've been able to pull over and start getting a little bit more comfortable with the prospecting aspect of things and getting in there. So once you postured yourself, you've talked to a prospect, you've pulled them into the opportunity group, now what, right? Like, now what? So where opportunity events come in is when you can't quite get them there. So maybe you got them into the opportunity event, and I'm going to give you some of the things that I would say to close, but you get them into that opportunity event, and then what? Okay. Are you good at closing? I'm interested to know, is anybody good at closing? If you're good at closing, drop me a 1 below. If you don't know how to close or you think you suck at it, give me a 2 below. And I'll tell you that I've been a number 2 for a long time. I was very good at getting the interest, very good at plugging them in, and then not so good at like wrapping it up. And it took me a long time to understand why. To understand why I wasn't really good at it and what I needed to change. So I'm just interested. Are you a master at closing, or do you need some help? So for me, have always been really good at piquing the interest, getting someone interested, and then I plug them into the opportunity group, and then that's it. Like, where do you go from there? How do you close from there? How do you make it happen? That's when an opportunity event is a really good tool to use. And so when we're using a tool like an opportunity event, you need to take advantage of it. So we're actually going to do the event inside the group. The group is public, so the event will be public. So people can come to that event and it'll be public. And when somebody's going live, let's say Anita comes in and wants to do a live, and we have her scheduled to do a live and she does it, it's going to go public. So her friends will see that she's doing this event and they'll want to know what she's doing and come over. But it's inside the group because I want those that are in the group to be invited. I want to pull them over into the group. Okay. So that if they don't attend the event, they're still in the group. They're still seeing what we're posting. So the event is, even if it wasn't a public thing and it was closed, we would still be doing it the same way. If it was private, we'd be doing the same way, where I'd be in the group. What these events are good for is it's a lot of information in a very short amount of time. And one of the things that I love is that we do it as a team, right? We have a team opportunity group. And so doing it as a team, someone in Sarah's network may not, hey Sandra, may not necessarily connect with the opportunity with Sarah. Like, maybe they don't even like Sarah. I don't even know why they're friends with Sarah. And then they see that Abigail comes on, and Abigail like blows their socks off by watching this video. All of a sudden they're interested in what Sarah has to say. They're interested. So when we do these opportunity events, they get to see a lot of other people. They get to see other people's lashes. They get to see other people's perspectives. They get to see other people's stories. And one of the stories will resonate with them. One of those stories will touch them. That is the goal. So when we use these events, we really want to get people in those events that, number one, are very interested. Someone who's very interested, write that down, number one, very interested. If they're very interested, you need to plug them into this event. You need to be messaging them saying, hey, I know that you're in the opportunity group. I wanted to let you know that we have this event that just opened up. I've invited you to it. So if you'd like to hop in, it's going to be pretty fast paced, and there's going to be some stories and different things. And you can talk to them about like what's going to happen through the event, and we'll give you details as we go along. So one, they're very interested. Another person that you're going to add to that opportunity event is if it's somebody that's been in the group a while and you can't quite get them hooked. For some reason, they're sitting there and they're staring at the stuff. They're not responding to you and your messages, and they're just kind of fell off, and they're in the group. Invite them. And I would send them a message and say, hey, we have this opportunity event. I'm not sure if you're still open to the idea, but I wanted to invite you anyways. The third set of people that you want to invite to this event are people that you actually reach out to that are not in the group. And that's the third category. In that third category, you need to start reaching out to people and trying to pull them into the group. You need to start prospecting these people. You need to start trying to see who's interested in ground floor opportunity. Do they want to know more about it? And if people are asking you, hey, I'm curious, or I saw this, or I'm wanting more information, this is the perfect time to say, hey, we've got this going on. Do you want to be invited? Okay. Okay, another thing about the event, in order to really maximize your results of an event, does everybody know who they're inviting to the event now? Everybody know who they're inviting to the event? Let me know. Drop me a 3 below if you know who you're inviting to the event now. You know all 3 categories, and you know that what you're looking for. In order to maximize your results, number 1, you need to know who you're inviting. Number 2, you need to be picky about who you invite to an event. So you do not want to go invite every Tom, Dick, and Harry. Okay, you do not want to go and invite everyone on your friends list. That is not what an opportunity event is for. You need to zero in on the 3 categories I gave you and focus on the quality, not the quantity. You following me? Remember, quality, not the quantity. So you need to be focused on bringing in people that really matter. I would rather have an event where everyone invites 2 people than have an event where everybody invited 200. It's true. Because someone's going to come in and they're going to see that 1,000 people were invited, and then there's 4 or 5 people like commenting. Does that look like a party to you? Does that look like interest to you? Does that look like they want to be there? You got to look from the outside looking in too. If they're looking in and they're going, you got all these people invited and nobody's commenting and nobody's doing anything and nobody seems to interact, it's probably not a good thing. So I want you to understand that the quality is going to take over the quantity, okay? So that second thing that you need to know to maximize this event is to be picky about who you invite. Don't invite just anybody, okay? The third way to maximize this event to your advantage, to make this worth your while, is to message them several times. So I'm not saying bombard them, but I would message them and let them know, hey, I invited you to this event. I really would like for you to go, depending on which person you're talking to. Maybe I know you're in our opportunity group, so I went ahead and invited you to this event. It's a little more fast paced and I thought that you would really enjoy it. Or, hey, I invited you to this event because I'm not real sure if you're still open to it, but I thought you might want to be, hear all of the stories from different brand ambassadors, however you do. So you message them when you invite them. I want you to message them Thursday before I go live, before I finalize everything, maybe an hour before the event actually wraps up. And let's say I'm going to go live at 7, then start making your rounds at 6 and say, hey, I just wanted to remind you, we're wrapping up the event tonight. I know Jennifer's video is going to be awesome. This is where you edify me, and I'm going to get into third-party validation, but this is where you edify me. Like, our corporate sponsor is going to go live, and she's amazing, and she's going to answer any questions. And so do you have any questions I can send over to her? That sort of thing. So you're going to message them and prepare them for the wrap up. Now, why edify me? And if you hated my guts, why say that you like me? Well, third-party validation is huge. So if you're telling them about this opportunity and it's great, and now you've edified me and said what you think of me, even if you hate me, and you're telling them that I'm amazing and I'm a great leader, when I come on, they already have it in my head that this person's amazing. And then when I start speaking and I'm saying the same things you just said, that's third-party validation, ladies, and it makes them want to be a part of it. Okay, third-party validation is huge. You see these companies that do 3-way calls and all this tag and whatever. All of those things are third-party validation. What they're trying to do is get that person to hear it from more than just one person. And the best third-party validation is a total stranger. Total stranger. So if they don't know me from their next door neighbor, they don't know them like anybody, then it's not like, I meant like it's not their next door neighbor. It's not like their next door neighbor. It's not like you. They don't know me from anyone. That's good. That's really good. And that's going to give you that third party validation. Are you following me? You getting this? Is everybody understanding what I'm saying? So that third party validation is important. So you have your messaging and telling them, hey, I invited you. The next one is right before the event so that you can tell them, hey, she's going to wrap this up. And one of the best ways for you to do that is to throw that in there about how great or whatever, and then say, she's going to be answering questions. Do you have any questions that I could shoot over to her? that maybe she can address in her live. That's a really good way for you to just kind of have a reason. Because sometimes we get stuck on, well, I don't really want to message because that's scary. So it kind of gives you a reason to message. Everybody following me? So the next time that you're going to message them is in the follow-up. And remember, fortune's in the follow-up. So you're going to follow up with them either after the event or the next day and say, hey, did you enjoy the event? It's talk to them like they're human beings, people. Like, hey, did you enjoy the event? Just follow up with them. What did you like most? And we're going to get into some of the closing questions. So that's what you're going to do as far as messaging. The fourth way that you're going to maximize these results is to participate. To participate. I want you to write participate down below because this is so important. It is so important because when we do these events or when we do a pop-up event and you're invited to that pop-up event, even if you're in a pop-up event, like let's say, I know some of y'all are in Bonnie's event that I'm doing, and if you're in that event and it's not happening right now, but when it does kick off that night and we're going, you've got to be interacting. If you're not interacting, that doesn't look like a party, y'all. It's like I just said, there's 1,000 people invited and only 2 or 3 are commenting and stuff. That's not a party. You got to make it, hopping. We've got to get in there and we've all got to be excited. We've got to be liking stuff. We got to be commenting. We got to be looking to see if so-and-so asked a question, go in there and comment below. You've got to stay on top of it. So for 2 days, pay attention to the event. Am I saying spend all your time in there? No. But go in there and show some love and participate. You've got to participate. If you don't participate in this, it's not going to go anywhere. Like, you've got to build this up. Do you want to go to an event and watch an event or be a part of a Facebook event and there's no activity going on? Does it make you want to be a part of that? If you go in there and nobody's lifting each other up and no one cares, do you want to be a part of that? Do you? I don't even see one person commenting participate below. You need to be commenting participate below. You've got to be able to participate. I want you to be commenting. I want you to be liking. I want you to be paying attention. If somebody goes live and you can be on it, get on it. If you can't, I'm not saying like you're at work and you're supposed to step away and go do that. That's what I'm saying. What I'm saying is if you're at home and you're sitting on the couch and you're watching TV and somebody goes live, even if you don't want to necessarily watch it or listen to it, open it and start throwing up some hearts and like, hey, Sandra, it's so good to see you, whatever, and throw up some hearts. Throw some love, okay? Everybody following me, everybody got that? Because I do not see comments now. I haven't seen a participate. I don't know if anybody's following me. I don't see hearts. I don't see anything. Is everybody still there? Are you alive? Do I need to check your pulse? Let me know that you are there. So that one is the biggest, is participate. You've got to participate. And the last way to maximize your results is to make sure that if you can, if you're bold enough, if you're brave enough, if you are willing to build your business in a way that you want it to be thebomb.com, that you actually take it a step further, participate in the actual event. So I asked you to comment participate below to actually participate in the event. Well, now I'm pushing it a little further and I want you to participate in throwing the event. Whether you come in and you make one post, as long as your face is out there, your prospects are seeing you as a leader, okay? So if you are actually willing to step out of your comfort zone and be there and be part of it, it's going to take you even further because people are going to see you as, oh, not only did she invite me to this event, but that girl's like, she's part of the event, okay? So they're going to want to follow you. Does that make sense? So those are the 5 tips to maximize this event to your advantage. Do you have any questions about the event? Because I do not see, I think I saw a yes. I don't see participate below. I don't see hearts going up. I don't see anybody. I don't know if I check pulses. It says that there's 6 people on right now, but I can't see anything. And I want to know if you have any questions about maximizing the results of an opportunity event. I'll give you a couple seconds to comment below. I may have to swipe and see if I can get my comments to come back. And then we're going to go into closing. That's loud. I needed a lot of water. I'm like gonna chug it down. All right. I really do not like doing training with radio silence. However, I know it's Sunday night and whatever's going on, I can't see comments. So, okay. And did y'all hit the little invite and try to invite people? I don't even know if you did that. I don't know. Okay. Radio silence it is. Closing. I want you to understand that you can invite people to the event all day long. You can invite people to your group all day long. You can send messages all day long. But if you don't know how to close them, you're never going to grow a team. You're never going to grow a team. So you've got to realize that success is pretty easy. It's in the closing. Learn to master closing and everything else is going to fall into place. Okay? Closing is what's going to equal your success, okay? So if you're not, let me read this to you. I wrote some notes, but if you're not willing to play big, if you're not willing to do the work, and if you're not willing to get better at closing, you will never have a team. Let me say that again. If you're not willing to play big, if you're not willing to do the work, and if you're not willing to get better at closing, you're never going to have a team. Okay? You've got to be willing. I want you to comment below, I am willing. I never saw participate, so I don't know. But I want you to comment below, I am willing. Here's another question I want you to ask yourself. How many people are you impacting a day? I mean, when I chose the whole Lash impactors and, Lash impact and your Lash impactors, it was about impacting lives. We're still doing that with Sparkle and Roots, but it's like to a whole other level. And I don't want to get all into the glittery glamour stuff, but it's really fun. However, when it comes to prospecting, how many people are you actually impacting? How many people are you speaking to that you hope to change their life? Because it matters. It really does matter. So let me explain to you. Do you know a single mom? If you know any of these that I shout out to you, would you throw me up a heart or a like or something and let me know that, yes, you know somebody. Does anybody know a single mom? Does anybody know a dad who has daughters? A dad who has daughters? Does anybody know a parent of teenagers who may be getting close to needing a car? Anybody know a parent of a college student? Does anybody know a college student who's stressed out? Does anybody know someone who is divorced? Does anybody know someone who's very unhappy? How about any vets? Do y'all know a vet? Do you know a woman who's been abused, or a man who's been abused, or a child who's been abused? Do you know someone who has suffered with drug addiction and now they're on the up and up? Do you know someone who's ever been foreclosed on? Do you know someone who's just not fulfilled in what they're doing? Maybe they're just cranky old people. They hate their job and they cannot get out of it. They don't know what to do. Do you know someone who, let me think. I'm trying to think of any others. Do you know just children? Do you know kids who are just 18 straight out of school, like trying to make a living? Do you know someone who really needs the extra money and didn't give their kids a Christmas? Do you know someone who's struggling in another direct sales, who doesn't make anything, and they're taught to spam everybody? Do you know, this list could go on and on, right? I mean, you could drop a couple down below if I missed one, but I think I covered a lot of them. But you're more than welcome to drop one below if you know any of these. But if you know any of these, I have to ask you a very serious question. Heart to heart, woman to woman. When are you going to stop robbing them? Did she just say that? Like, what does that mean? When are you going to stop robbing these people? So you know a single mom who's struggling. Why are you robbing her? Bold statement. I want you to think about that. Why are you robbing them? Because if you're not willing to reach out to them, if you're not willing to offer this to them, you don't care about impacting their life. You don't care about wanting a change for them. Now, this is not about being pushy. This is not about being aggressive. And this is not about being spammy. But if you don't at least see if they're open to it and you actually reach out to them, you're not going to impact a life. It could be that what they need is to be in this team. What they need is a bunch of women to lift them up. What they need is someone to believe in them. What they need is an opportunity, just like we have here at Red Aspen. And if you're not reaching out to them, you're robbing them of that opportunity. Does that make sense, guys? I want to make sure you're following me. So if you're not willing to play big, to do the work, and to be better at closing, you're not willing to make an impact. Okay? All right. Closing is not to be pushy. Closing is not about being aggressive. When I feel like somebody's trying to close me, I don't like it. When I feel like somebody's being pushy with me, I don't like it. And I remember listening to a training by Ray Higdon. He was talking about how he's like so irrational when it comes to someone being pushy. And I was laughing so hard because it's so me. So his little like spill was, if somebody's being pushy, like let's say they're offering something to eat, but they're being super pushy about it. What if it's like like, okay, chocolate covered strawberries for me. Like I love chocolate covered strawberries. So if somebody was offering me chocolate covered strawberries, they're being really pushy about it. I will go without eating. I will starve before I eat that chocolate covered strawberry just because it pisses me off. Like I don't want to be pushed. I do not like it. I hate, how many of y'all like to go car shopping and go onto a sales lot? Do you like it when the salesman comes up to you and especially as a woman, because they think we're dumb? And you're just checking out a car and they're like, oh, and they come in and they're trying to, do you like that? Do you like to be sold to? Do you like to be pushed? Oh, but she'd look better in this one. And do you like that? Do you like to be, I mean, it happens a lot. Be in a retail environment and they're trying to push you to add something to their mix, right? Like they're trying to get you to add something else. Or, and some of them are just asking. I'm not talking about those. You know what I'm talking about when it's like really pushy. Hardcore push. Has anybody ever been pushed? Do you like the way it feels? Because I don't. And I get crazy. Like I will not buy a vehicle. Like I don't care if their vehicle's $2,000 less than the vehicle that I'm looking at over down the street. I don't, even if it was $10,000. Like I am so far away from the push that I will go pay the extra because I don't want to deal with that person. That's how like irrational I get with it. I don't like to be pushed. So when you're closing, you're not pushing. Okay? You do not want to push them. What you want to do is pull them towards you. You want them to gravitate towards you. And you want to know what to ask and how to ask it. Does that make sense? Let me know that you're still there. Throw me up some hearts. We covered that if you don't talk to them, there's not any chance that you're going to impact them. Some people really, really need this. So here is a good guide. This is when you want to get your pen out. This is a good guide to how to handle closing. Very simple guide. And if you just take notes on this, you'll know it. I'm going to have you say some things as we go along so you'll kind of understand it. Number 1, point them to the tool or event. So comment below tool. Point them to the tool. So if you have spoken to them, maybe you reached out to them and now they're interested or they're open or they're like, tell me more. The next thing is, like we've said before, hey, I have this opportunity event or I have this opportunity group, right? So you're going to point them to the tool or event. So would you like to be added to the opportunity group? Tool. Number 1, like little tool. Okay. So now when it's time to follow up with them, you've pointed them in the direction of the tool or event. Now you're going to follow up. Really good question to be asking them is, what did you like that you saw? Okay. What did you like most about what you saw in that group? What did you like most about the video? Maybe you sent them my YouTube video. What did you like most out of her YouTube video? Because, I mean, I did that video so that it would be an opportunity video, and it is. So you can use my YouTube video as a tool to send to someone. Maybe they don't want to be in the opportunity group, so you send them that video. What did you like most out of that video? What did you like most out of the group? I don't go to them and say, well, I do ask, you know, hey, Sandra, did you have a chance to go browse around the opportunity group? And if she says yes, my next thing is, what did you like most about it? I don't usually am like, oh, you did? How exciting. And like, oh, and then did you see? Oh my gosh, did you see? We go back to that very first thing I ever taught you about less is more. So we don't get excited and we don't start word vomiting and we don't, oh my gosh, did you see the beauty influencer? Oh my God, did you know that our commission just dropped? Now we get this and are the levels, and we don't get into all that. Okay. Did you see that we used to have to maintain and now we don't have to, and now, you've pointed them to the tool and event. You want to listen to them. What did you like most? And open your ears. What did you like most? Okay. And if they're negative, they didn't like it at all. Maybe I'm not, it just wasn't for me, whatever. Cool. No problem. No big deal. But if they come back and they're like, oh my gosh, that video was the stupidest video I've ever seen, whatever, I don't want you to just be like, oh, and start shrinking down to that little man, okay? What I want you to do is come back and say, well, what did you hope to see? Well, I mean, I was hoping that this was a great opportunity for me to make money. Oh, well, and then you come back to them, okay? So there's a reason that you ask these questions. Maybe you want to ask, and at that point I'd say, you might have missed this part of the video, that sort of thing. Maybe you want to ask them, you know, why did you even agree to go look at the group if you didn't like if you weren't going to like anything in it? Like, there's so much in there. I mean, you're thinking this, but you don't say all that. You just say, I'm just curious, why did you agree to go look? They might say, oh, I just was browsing around, or I was curious. Or they might say, well, I was thinking that it was going to bring me the income I needed. And then you can turn around and say, well, maybe you missed this part of the comp plan. Okay, so that's the negative. So if you ask them, what did you like most about the opportunity group? And someone comes back and they're like, oh my gosh, I absolutely love the comp plan. I noticed that they changed the amounts for you to hit your ranks. And I noticed that you have this one-time bonus, rank up bonus, and that's really cool. I really love the comp plan. Your reaction should not be, oh my gosh, I know. And then did you see? And then, oh my God, and start. That's not what you do. Cut yourself off. If they sat there and they just told you everything that they loved about that comp plan, you're going to confirm it. You're going to say, I really love that too. Why is that important to you? Why is that important to you? Or I might ask, well, what do you mean? If they say, oh, I loved the comp plan. Well, what do you mean? I want them to talk to me. The whole entire part of closing is getting them to talk to you. They're going to give you the reason why they want to be closed. They're going to give you the reason why they need to join you. Okay? So you are going to put it out there to where you're asking the questions and you're listening. This is very different than everybody else that you know. When someone approaches you about an opportunity, they're spilling everything out. They're telling you everything. They're not listening to what you want. They're not listening to what you need. I took a very different approach with Red Aspen than I had in the past. I had started this before Red Aspen, but since I brought up, I'll tell you, I brought up Jordan, right? And how I had reached out to her and how I, got out of my own way and did that. I'm going to use her as an example for this. I listened to her. I did not approach her on a lot. I waited because I knew that she was elite in another company. I knew that she was not sure what she wanted to do. And I waited for her to open up and tell me. I waited for her to give me the green light. I waited for her to feel comfortable enough to say something. And when she started, I mean, it was just, we were doing a voice text back and forth. I remember I was at Olive Garden trying to eat with my kids, and I kept hearing, like, I was outside. I went outside and was like trying to voice text outside because that was the time that she started opening up. And as soon as she started opening up and I'm listening to what she says, she was giving me everything I needed to know to say, this is the opportunity for you. And it was just a matter of making sure that I got into her mind to know what is it that she's looking for. But I could have been very different. I could have been like, oh, Jordan, you need to look at this and you need to look at that. And you need to, I was understanding. I listened and then I acted. So that's what you need to do. Listen, talk to them, get them to talk to you. Listen to what they have to say. Everybody following that? So you got the tool. I want you to listen. Listen. I want you to comment listen below. And I also want you to comment that you're going to ask questions. I want you to ask these questions. Even if it's negative, you're going to ask, like, why did you agree to go look at this? Or what were you hoping to see? If you are talking to someone who had a positive reaction, you're going to ask, well, what did you like best about it? Or what do you mean by that? So I want you to comment listen, and then I want you to comment questions. Okay, so you direct them to the tool. You have this. Now, what if you direct them to the tool and you follow up and they say no, they haven't looked? What do? No, they haven't looked. I need water. Hold on. This one gets fun. This is the one that I really love. And you know what? I'm gonna take a break on that one real quick. Actually, I'll come back to it. Okay, I'm gonna come back to duplication. So what if they say, no, Anita, I haven't looked at it. If you've comment listen below, make sure you comment questions. You want to ask questions. So, no, I haven't looked at that. I haven't had time. Sorry. Or, yeah, it's just not on my radar. I just haven't. Sorry, I haven't looked. What do you do if you have somebody who says they haven't looked? What you don't do is you don't guilt trip them. You don't get all negative on them. Well, why haven't you looked at it? Well, don't you want to make money? Well, don't you want to be successful? Well, I thought you were interested in this. Well, I just did all this stuff for you and I went to your stupid event that you had. Why can't you go look at my stuff? That's not the approach that you take. You're not going to belittle them or be aggressive with them. If they did not watch it, you're not going to come at them negatively. What you're going to do is you're going to be the other side of things, because everyone tends to be negative. I've had people who've invited me to something and they're like, well, why didn't you order? You went to this event. Why didn't you order anything? You don't want anything? Like I went to your event. Yeah, but you didn't order anything there either. You don't get into the negative part. You want to stay very positive. So what you want to do is you want to change the way you're thinking about things. So if they say that they have not looked, I don't want you to be completely just understanding as busy. Okay? What do I mean? I don't want you to be as understanding as you are busy. I don't want you to be like, oh, that's okay. It's okay. It's no big deal. When you have time, just let me know. I don't want you to be understanding. I want you to be busy. I want you to be like, you know what? That's totally cool. I've got to hop off here. I've got some other girls who are looking at the opportunity group I've got to check in with. I know they're ready to get started, so I'm going to go work. I'm going to go check on them, or I'm going to go work with them, or I'm going to go. Okay. So you really want to just divert it and say, I'm going to talk. Okay. I'll cover that in a minute, Sandra. So if they say they haven't looked and you're aggressive with them, you're going to totally make them run. But if you turn around and you're busy, that's okay. That's okay. It's okay to be busy. It goes back to the holding the gold. It goes back to you being the prize. You've got to be busy. Be busy. I want you to comment below. Be busy. Be busy. Professionals do not have time. They don't have time for the BS. Let me give you an example. If I want to get into my doctor's office, there are some, yes, that have walk-ins, but mine is not. Mine is, even my husband has trouble trying to get, we got into this patient portal and we've got to try to ask for an appointment, and they let us know if we can get an appointment. And then some of the time the appointment's like 3 weeks away and we can't even get into the doctor, and our face is falling off and we can't even get in because the doctor's office is slammed. Okay. Or let's say you want to get into an attorney's office and you want to go see an attorney. Well, they have court. I worked for an attorney, so they're in court so many days a week. They have so many clients. I mean, our schedule for the attorneys that I worked for, they were down to a T, like hour by hour by hour by hour. Sometimes it'd go over in the lunch break. There was no time. There was no squeezing you in. If you are a professional, you are busy. Okay? Be busy. I don't care if you open up your schedule and you open up your planner and it looks like this. I don't care. I don't care if your planner is blank. You're busy. Okay? You have things to do. So, if the person has not had time to look at that, you're busy. You're professional. You don't have time. You've got to be like, you know what? I've got to go. I've got these other people who are interested. I need to go work with them. I can follow up with you in a few weeks. Be done and walk away. Okay? I'll follow up with you in a couple weeks. And jot it down that you'll follow up in a couple weeks. And walk away. Don't go back to that person for a couple weeks. Now, here's a couple things with that. You better have it on your calendar to get back with them in a couple weeks. Another thing about that is that a lot of times they'll stop you. They'll stop you and be like, well, I could probably try to go check it out this weekend. And if they do come back and stop you, at that point you want to say, great, I'm going to have some time on, let's say they say they're going to do it over the weekend. I'm probably going to have some time on Wednesday around 3 o'clock. I'll message you then, or I can try to call you Thursday at 2. You give them options. Give them 2 options of when you're going to follow up. 2 options. And that's it. You call the doctor's office, they don't sit there and say, well, anytime you want to come in, just come by. They don't do that. I've got an opening here. I've got an opening here. Done. Okay? So I want you to stop begging them to join you. I don't want you to, somebody who says, you know what, I can go look at that group tonight. I don't want you to be like, oh my gosh, I'm so excited. Thank you so much. You're just so awesome. Thank you for going and watching that and going to look at it. It's, okay, cool. Like, I can follow up with you in a couple days. I have an opening Tuesday at whatever time. It's not, thank you for indulging me to go look at that group. Like, that's not what this is about. They need you. You don't need them. Don't beg. Okay? A lot of times people get caught up in trying to focus on the perception of what that person thinking about you instead of you just worrying about closing the deal. Like, don't worry about what they're thinking and whatnot. You're busy. Stay that way. Okay? One of the biggest things that you can use is it has not gone out of style. Use feel, felt, found. Is anybody familiar with the feel, felt, found technique? I want you to put that down below. Feel, felt, found. Feel, felt, found. So feel, felt, found. On any scenario, you can actually turn things around with someone with the feel, felt, found. And I have yet to be told or stopped like, hey, did you just use the feel, felt, found on me? Did you just use the 3 F's on me? Did you just use that? I've never had anybody say that. Feel, felt, found. So if somebody comes to you with an objection, well, I thought that I could make a lot of money and this video the comp plan doesn't look like you're going to make a lot of money. You use the feel, felt, found. Well, I totally understand how you feel. I felt the same way when I looked at the comp plan. But what I found is that I didn't know about the generation bonuses and how the group volume versus downline volume was and how the XYZ works. I just related to them. I said, I know how you feel. I told them that I felt the same way. And I told them how I found XYZ. Okay? So, well, I thought that this was going to be, super simple, and I just don't see how it's really simple. And you would say, you know what? I totally understand how you feel. I felt the same way until I realized that my amazing and beautiful and phenomenal upline Jennifer has all of these amazing groups and everything set for you. So you just plug people in, and it is pretty simple. I feel, I felt, I found. Okay? Feel, felt, found. Always figure out how you can feel, felt, found. That's worst case scenario. Feel, felt, found. I want you to act as an independent business professional with your closing. You are a business professional. You need to know how to close. You need to know how to do this in a professional manner. You need to know how to do this without all of the mushy gushy, oh, I'm so excited. Let me gear off and just say, I tell people, I'm so excited you're joining and things like that. But I'm talking about, oh, I'm so excited you watched the video, or no, like, be professional about it, okay? I want to take a little detour for a second and talk to you about duplication. I did a video about groups. I don't know if you watched it. If you watched the video about the customer group and how we have this team customer group, put me up a laughy face. So I know if you watch that video about the team customer group. If you have not watched that video, which you can't right now because I'm in Facebook jail, throw me a heart up. Okay, so I know the difference. So one thing about this system, and I'm going to slowly go over it real quick. You point them to the tool. Okay, you ask them what they liked most about it. Positive, negative, you ask questions and you listen. After that, then the next thing you do is you are going to use feel, felt, found. You get that involved. You try to figure out, what you need to do to close. And I'm going to give you the last little bit here in a second. What I just gave you is duplicatable. It's duplicatable. I'm going to do a video on my timeline in just a little bit about reasons why people fail in network marketing, and one of those reasons is duplication. They don't have a system in place that's duplicatable. So if you don't have a system in place that's duplicatable, you're never going to get anywhere, because you can't bring a prospect in and tell them, well, good luck, figure it out on your own. You cannot do it. So this is duplicatable. What I have taught you in these 5 videos is duplicatable. You can turn around and teach your people to do it. When you're talking to a prospect, offer them an opportunity group. When you get them into the opportunity group, tag them in the pinned post. Follow up with them 24 hours later. Then I want you to ask this question. Then I want you to do, it's duplicatable. Does everybody see that? The same thing is said for us having a group customer, a team customer group. With us having a team customer group and all of us have all of our customers in this one group, that's duplicatable. Okay? And I've said, you can have your own group. That's cool. You want your own group with your own customers. That's absolutely cool. You rock it out. But just know that when you're bringing new people in, it is so much harder for that person to have to learn how to create a group and how to keep up with their customers and what they have to do than it is to say, you know what? We have this team customer group. You can add all your customers to it. All you got to do is tag them in the pin post so we know who they belong to. Duplication. That is duplicatable. When I came to Red Aspen, that was one of the things that I wanted to change. Was I wanted to make sure everything we did was duplicatable. Everything I do, you can repeat. Everything I do, you can copy. Everything I do, you can use to build your business. Okay? So when we're using opportunity group, this is all duplication, duplication, duplication. So important. So important. Even with closing, when you're talking, why am I bringing up duplication in the middle of a closing? Because when you're talking to someone and maybe one of their objections is it's not simple enough, or they don't have enough support, or they're worried about this or that, you can say, you know what I just did to you when I asked you about, and I said this to several people. I remember when we first started Red Aspen, there's a handful of y'all that once I had you in and we were moving along, they came to me and they're like, well, what do I say? What do I say to these people? Like, how do I message them? And I said, scroll up to our conversation. That's what you say. And they were like, oh, yeah. And I I did the same thing to them. Hey, I have this opportunity. Let me plug you in. Same thing. Same thing. So when you're talking to a prospect, you can also share with that, like, what we have an opportunity group. What I just did with you, it's so super easy. You do the same. Duplication. Okay. I want you to comment below. Duplication is key. In order for you to have a successful team, duplication is key. If you're not tagging them in your trainings, in the different team trainings, if you're not letting them use the opportunity group, if you're not letting them use the customer group, you're not duplicating yourself. You're reinventing the wheel and you will drown. You will not succeed. I'm going to tell you that right now. You will drown. I have reinvented the wheel plenty of times and I failed. And I chose coming into this that I was doing things differently. I was going to make sure that this was done correctly. Duplication is key. Plug them in. Give them the tools. Now, what they do with those tools is up to them. So, got that out of the way. I want you to be a business professional. I want you to act as a business professional. When you're talking to someone, I want you to paint the vision. I want you to paint the vision. Why do they want this? Some people run over here because it's a ground floor opportunity. They want to get in first, right? They want to be part of something bigger. They want to be a part of a... I had a girl who mentioned that she wants to be part of a team. She really wants to be part of a team. That's her why. Like she wants the money and all that, but she wants to be part of a team. She wants that tribe. Well, wasn't that easy for me to be like, you know what? We have an amazing tribe, and I have an even better little inner tribe with my mentors. But I can sit there and say, I got to tell you, like, I love our tribe. When we hit brand, associate brand director, you get a magical wand, and we have a leadership trip coming up, and I'm the, I was the first corporate sponsor to go to Boise and see this, and I was able to take my team through there and see everything, and all of us come together, and there's this unity, and I can't wait until all of us meet each other and actually get to be together. And we're already talking about wearing unicorn onesies when we do that, and this is going to be so much fun. And I can talk about that tribe because I'm painting the vision for her. It's what she wants. I found out what her why was. How did I find out? I listened. I asked questions and I listened. And what was important to her was having that tribe. So I was able to paint the vision, and I'm painting it all pretty. This is what we have. This is what's there. Am I lying to her? No, I'm not lying to her, but I'm opening up all of the doors to have her walk in. Okay? So when you find out why they're doing something, you can paint that vision. So when I found out what Jordan was looking for, I knew how to approach her. If you know their why, you can paint the vision. Does that make sense? I want you to comment below, paint the vision. You've got to know their why, but you've got to paint the vision. I want you to do that. When you find out what their why is, talk about it. So maybe they want to make lots of money. You can talk about how our comp plan is amazing and we're still in soft launch and it can absolutely change, and it has changed for the better, and how, there's all of these things that could, potentially create some massive income success. So, there's like ways that you can go about it, but if you know what to do, what to paint, you can paint the vision. Okay. If that makes sense to you, please give me a thumbs up. Let me know that you're still with me and that you are following. So once you have gotten to the point where, yes, they've seen it. Yes, they loved it. They love the comp plan. They love this. They love whatever. And you get to where now, what do you say? This is my favorite thing. I learned this about a year ago. And I really started utilizing it about 9 months ago. And I love it. I love it. Although tonality has a lot to do with it. Tonality is how you raise or lower your voice. So those that are authoritative, they talk very deep and aggressive, and they're, like they're. And then those that you want to be perky and bubbly, and you're like, that's, your tonality, up, down, authoritative. So when I'm speaking to someone, I use the tonality techniques, but if you're just writing it, once you get to the point where they've looked at it, everything's great, whatever, this phrase, write this down, this phrase is what you're going to use and nothing else. Okay? When they get to the point where they're telling you why, you've painted the vision, and they're like, oh, I love that. I'd love to be a part of that. That would be awesome to be wearing unicorn onesies. Oh my gosh, your tribe sounds so amazing. My next response is going to be, sounds to me like you're ready to join. Now, if I'm speaking, I say it like that. Sounds to me like you're ready to join. And I drop my voice. It's authoritative. And it's also got a big old fat period. It's not a question. It's not, sounds to me like you're ready to join. No. Sounds to me like you're ready to join. Done. Okay? Even if you're messaging, that's what you got with the period at the end. Sounds to me like you're ready to join. And that's the last thing you're going to say to them. Okay? Nothing else. Nothing else until they respond. I don't care if they don't respond to you for 10 years. You're not going to respond to them. Sounds to me like you're ready to join. Done, 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 done. Until they come back. They may come back and be like, yes, actually I am. What's your link? Or they may come back and be like, actually, I have one more question. That's fine. Answer the question. Then again, sounds to me like you're ready to join. Done. I want you to write that down. Sounds to me like you're ready to join. A big fat period. A big fat period. Okay? So, I don't want you to say anything else. This puts this back in their the ball in their court. And it's a statement. It's not a question. So it makes them think about it. Well, yeah, I guess I am. A lot of times, I'll tell you, I take a step before that and I'll ask, do you have any other questions? And if they say, no, not really, then I say, sounds to me like you're ready to join. So that's usually how I'll end it. Do you have any other questions? No. Sounds to me like you're ready to join. Because if they weren't ready to join, they would have had other questions. So it's a good way for you to do it. If they come back and they're like, well, actually, I have this question or whatever. One response that sometimes works is if they've given you all these reasons why. They've just told you they want to be in this tribe and you told them why the tribe is amazing and everything's already been handed to them. And then they say, no, they're not ready. This will work. Okay. Again, it's a tonality thing, but you can type it as well. It does work not typed, but you can say, it's just, I say this differently every time. So let me think about how I said, you can be shocked and be like, oh, well, typically when people say exactly what you just said to me, they usually join. Typically, it's just that typically when people say exactly what you just said to me, they usually join. What am I doing there when I say something like that? It's just that typically when people say exactly what you just said to me, they usually join. You just made them feel abnormal. You just made them feel like they're foreign, like they're an outcast. You just made them want to be in the in crowd. Because you just said that all these people usually join after that. And you're using the words typically, exactly, usually. Those words are very impactful. And if you're talking to them, there's a whole other way to do it. But if you're just typing it, it's really good to be like, oh, I thought you were ready. Okay, well, it's just that typically when people say exactly what you just said to me, they usually join. Then it makes them feel like, maybe something's not right with me and I should just jump. Okay. So that's just, sometimes that doesn't work. Sometimes if the person's already asked all the questions and you say, sounds to me like you're ready to join, and they say, no, I need to think about it some more. Then at that point you just say, take all the time you need. I can check back with you in 2 months. Like give them a time period that you're going to check back with them and walk away. Walk away. Next. That to me, there's your no, let's go. Move on. If you do talk to people on the phone, I do periodically talk to people on the phone. If they ask me a bunch of questions, they've already looked at the opportunity group and they're asking me a bunch of questions, I will ask, would you like to hop on a call? I never say schedule because that sounds too businessy. I would say, would you like to hop on a call? Because it seems just very like quick and easy, and you want to hop on the phone. And so that's kind of my verbiage whenever I'm talking to somebody about getting on a call. So I'm trying to think if there's anything else about closing. Please ask questions. I'm going to touch on what Sandra said as well. But I mean, at that point I walk away. And if they say yes and we give them the link, great. But I don't spend a lot of time with the same person if they're not ready to join. And then I have people, I have 2 conversations that happened today. One, the girl reached out to me and said, I want to join. I have to save up money for my kit, but I want to, you know, I can't wait. I'm going to save up the money and I'm going to join. I don't know when. Okay, cool. It'll be exciting to have you on our team. That's it. And then I did ask her, when do you project that you will join? I don't think there's anything wrong with asking somebody that. If somebody says, I need to take some time, you can ask, how much time would you like before I follow up with you? I don't think there's anything wrong with that. So a lot of times I will say, you know, how long do you project that it'll be before you join? Another conversation I had was a girl reached out to me and said, hey, you know, I said, hi. And she says, I'm at work, but I just wanted to tell you that I'm not ignoring you. I just don't have the money yet, but I'm going to join soon. Okay. I hadn't reached out to her. I haven't talked to her. I mean, it was random. I appreciate her very much for messaging me. That was very kind. But I didn't know. I mean, I told her, that's totally okay. I'm busy. We're building a team. We're rocking this out. I didn't have time to remember the conversation I had with her. Although I know she's on my, you know, she's on my radar that somebody to join, but I didn't know, like, and I just told her, don't apologize. Like, that's fine. I'm busy. I'm totally swamped over here. It's cool. When you're ready to join, we'll be glad to have you. Do you know when you're projected to join? And I asked that. When are you projected to join? When do you plan to join? I don't want to say, when do you get out the money? So I usually say, when do you project that you will join? It's kind of a nicer way to say it than, hey girl, when you get out some money? When are you going to have them funds? You need them funds, girl, so you can join me. It's better that way. It's better. When can you project? Okay, so Sandra had asked, what if you put all this work into it and then they join someone else? That sucks. I'm going to tell you right now, that sucks. And I can also tell you, it happens a lot. And it's happened a lot to me. It's not a good feeling. I don't know any other way to say it, but it sucks. It just does. I came into this business, this company with Red Aspen, as a corporate sponsor, knowing that we were going to rock this out. I had so many people join our opportunity group and get information from me. And I had a few of them be respectful and message me and say, thank you for all of your time. Thank you for putting me in the opportunity group. Thank you for spending an hour on the phone with me. But I'm going to go join so-and-so. I've had that happen. And I've had those just go join somebody else and not tell me. I had a girl that she reached out to me when I first launched. I've been in communication with her. She's going to join. She's in our opportunity group. We're rocking and rolling. Everything's great. And then, you know, she said she'd be back with me in a couple weeks. And so I waited a couple weeks. And then I saw that she joined. I was like, what do you mean? Like, she didn't join me. So I messaged her. And she said, oh, yeah, like this girl I saw, this other friend of mine. And so I just went ahead and joined her because I had the money that night. What? And then she wanted to still be my friend and still wants to. And then when she posted it on Facebook, she put out there, my friend, you know, Jennifer had introduced it to me and told me all about it. And I was really interested. And then, you know, I decided to join blah, blah, blah. So she's on another team. And I mean, first of all, I will say that people like that, if they do join and they join someone else, I unfriend them. They can follow me. I'm not trying to be ugly. If they're my best friend, that's different. But if I don't really know them, I unfriend them. If it's somebody I went to school with and I love them and they join somebody else, we got issues if they did that. So typically it's somebody that you don't know that great that's going to do that. And at that point, I unfriend them because you don't need anybody that's not a prospect or a teammate on your timeline. You don't. Prospects and your teammates. Don't get all caught up with adding 15,000 red aspen people. Don't do it. So when she did that, I was like, I'm going to unfriend. She can follow me. I'm done. Okay. It's going to happen. I give you those two. There's some really bad scenarios I'm not going to share with you about, but I'm telling you that because it happens all the time. All the time. There's nothing you can do about it. Nothing. What they do is none of your business. Okay? What they do is none of your business. Who they choose is none of your business. You gave them some reason to think that you weren't the best fit for them. Okay? So maybe this girl thought that going with a team that was larger or going with a team that, maybe the girl was closer to her. Maybe it was her sister's best friend. I don't know. Whatever, maybe she thought that she didn't want to be directly under a corporate sponsor. She wanted to be under somebody else. I don't know. I don't know what the reasoning is. She had a reason for choosing the person she chose. Okay? So let it go. And be thankful that they didn't choose you. Let me give you a flip scenario to make you feel much better. We had a girl who wanted to join one of my beautiful, beautiful ladies here. And she was who we thought would be a rock star. Like she was somebody that was notable that we thought, this girl's going to be awesome. And she wanted to join our girl. She gets into the opportunity group. She spent some time with her on the phone. Like everything was, they were totally going to do it. Then she tried to go corporate. And she tried to talk to them about being a corporate leg, but I had already told her I'd already told Jessie she was communicating with us. And so they did turn her down for that position. And the next thing I knew, like she had to decide who she was going to have as her sponsor. And she wound up not choosing our girl. She didn't even choose, started talking to someone else. She didn't even choose that person. She chose a third party that was totally random to join. Okay, so she joins this girl and we're like, what the heck? And we're so upset by it. This girl's going to slay it. We're so upset by it. When I was at the treehouse, the girl had already put in her resignation. True story. She'd already put in her resignation. And we had heard of all this drama that had gone on around her. So them not choosing you is a blessing in disguise. There's a reason that God did not put them with you, or the universe, or whatever you believe in. There's a, Mother Nature, whatever it is you believe in. There's a reason that that person is not with you. Let it go. Let it go. Let it go. No, I'm not going to sing. So let it go. They didn't want to be with you. Bye, Felicia. Okay? That's how you need to be. Bye. I don't need you. You don't need to be on my team. Okay? That's how you should react to it. Has everybody got that? Any questions? Let me ask any questions for me tonight as far as closing or using the opportunity event to your advantage. What questions can I answer for y'all? What can I do for you? And did that make sense about the bye Felicia? Let it go. It wasn't meant to be. Was not meant to be. Okay. Well, if you do not have, I'm giving you a couple of seconds I'll give you couple more seconds to type some questions. So tomorrow, Jordan is going to kick off sales. I'm so excited about this. She's going to show us sales. So in the middle of us getting everybody over to our opportunity group and all these things, it's going to be awesome. And then we are going to be learning about sales this week, which is super exciting. I hope she teaches me something. I mean, I think I'm pretty good at sales, but I'm not that great at sales. I see some other sales numbers that are huge, so maybe I can learn some tips from her. And I know she was up really late last night getting her training ready, and so expect that she's going to do a training tomorrow evening, and then she's going to put out some challenges just like I did. Don't forget about the weekend challenge with the points. and the go for no if you're going for no, and make sure you're doing that because that's important. And then we're going to go into another challenge for the week as she does cells. And I'm going to hop in on Tuesday and give you some pointers on that too. So you will see my face as well. And I said I don't to Leanna's comment about when do you sleep. I really don't get much sleep. Not these days. What do you do when that person comes back to you asking your questions about the biz? Oh, perfect. Thank you, Diane. Thank you. You're so amazing. Thank you for asking that. I am so incredibly grateful that you asked that because I want everyone to hear my response to this. You don't answer. Okay? So this is what happens. Let's say that it is a friend. I have a friend who did this to me. So you have a friend who is in your opportunity group, all this stuff, and then join someone else. First of all, take them out of the opportunity group. Bye-bye. Okay? Second of all, I would unfriend them unless they are your real true friends. Okay? And third, you're not going to answer them. What you're going to say is, that is a question that you need to ask your sponsor. Okay? If they take offense to it, if they were like, well, you're my friend, or they're not available, or whatever, you chose that sponsor for a reason, you need to ask your sponsor. I have a team that I'm working with. I have a team of people who want to work with me that I need to help. You should not have to get that aggressive with them, but I've actually had to tell somebody that. I've actually had to say, Diane, go ask your upline. Go talk to your sponsor. And they're like, well, Terry's not available. So I figured you could answer me. I could, but you chose Terry. So ask Terry. And if they keep pushing, then I finally say, Diane, I have a team of people who wanted me, who actually chose me. You didn't. I don't have time to work with those who didn't choose me. Sorry, not sorry. Okay? You shouldn't get that aggressive. You can think it in your head, but you shouldn't get that aggressive. Usually just saying, that's a question you need to ask your sponsor. If they come to you and they're trying to say, you chose her. I don't mean to offend you or I don't mean to upset you, but you chose her and I have a team of people that I need to be focused on who did choose me as their sponsor. Make sense? Good? Any other questions before we hop off here? I hope that was good for you. And thank you for asking that question because I get that a lot. People ask questions all the time. Or you'll get people, here's another one. They may not even be somebody that talked to you and almost joined you. They may just be from another team. And they may be coming and asking you questions just because they're your friend. Like maybe they're just your friend on Facebook and they joined someone else and they never spoke to you about joining. But they're still coming to you saying, oh my gosh, I saw you did that vendor event. That is awesome. How did you do that? Well, if they're your close friend and you want to give them information, feel free to give them information. But even them, I say, well, I learned all the training and I'm very vague. I won't give them a whole lot of info because they're not on my team. I don't have time for people that are not on my team, who are not in my inner circle, and who are not being prospected. And I'm sorry if that sounds horrible. But Leanna just asked earlier, when do I sleep? I freaking don't sleep. Okay? So if I'm not sleeping and my phone's blowing up and I'm working and I'm taking care of all of you beautiful women and I'm handling prospects that are coming in and I'm trying to keep up with friends and family and my family is totally on the back burner right now. I don't know how many times my husband's been like, we're not spending any time together. And he's calculating how much I'm technically making per hour at this point because I'm not making much if you try to add it up right now. Because I'm working so much, all of that comes into play. I don't have time for that. And you shouldn't. Even if you do have time, I want you to consider how many people you could be talking to instead of that person. Who could be in that place as your friend on your friends list? Who deserves your time? Okay? I think I got that one. Oh, a lot of red came out of me in that one. Okay, I'm going to hop off of here. If you have any other questions, feel free to ask me. I probably will not see them until I hop back over here and check it. So just ask in here and I will be sure to hop back over and check on you. I'm going to cool down for a second and then hop on my live because I'm going to talk about why people fail at network marketing. All right, guys, good night.